The language, the Garifuna language, is an Arawak-based language, which is a native Caribbean language, and the melodies are more native Caribbean. And sometimes you even hear in some of the work songs, like the Abwe Mahanis, you even hear certain Indian melodies. I'm talking about North American Indian melodic vibes there. Culture, very strong music, their language, their dances, their food, the way of life. It's pretty amazing. And the only way that they got here is because they stuck together. Garifuna music was born in the Caribbean, and it's a mixture of both African traditions and native Caribbean traditions. It's not African music. It's something more, and that's what makes it so original and so new. So I wouldn't say Garifuna music is at all an African music. It's a truly Caribbean product. It's something that was born in the Caribbean. I often say that Garifuna songs are like a photograph. They just capture a moment in time.
I especially like the fact that being a part of this band, everybody understands that what we're doing is not just playing music. We're here teaching the world about Garifuna. We're here teaching the world about Belize. So it's not just a band. It's a movement that we're starting here, and hopefully Hopefully we can get other people to join this movement.
The Garifuna songs are not very long. They're not very complicated. The poetry is in its simplicity. There's a lot of connection with the blues there. The Garifuna Collective, like the name says, it's basically a collective of friends, of musicians, of artists that have worked with me over the past 15 years.
Because the world wants to know about Garifuna music, about the Garifuna collective, about Belize, that keeps him alive. We're on this movement, we started this movement.
He was a very quiet man. Andy was a very, the best way to describe it is that he's one of those persons that when you become friends, you're friends for life. Andy was a teacher. That was his training. He went to teachers college, and basically he had a financial security. He had a teaching job. All his friends advised him not to take on music. Andy Palacio enrolled as a volunteer after the Sandinista government won in Nicaragua to go to remote communities. The way he was on stage, the way he would talk to people about his culture, and the way he was able to explain something that it's very difficult to do it on a non-technical way. Everybody can read a history book and tell you the history, but when somebody explains it in a very personal way, it's much more powerful.
Admired everything that he does, especially when it comes to working with people, teaching people about what Garifuna is all about, what Belize is all about.
He was so good. He was so good on and off stage that it made all our works very easy. And we didn't realize it until we lost him. And then we go like, oh shit, what are we gonna do now? You know, nobody can fill the shoes. When he died, and somebody asked me what did it meant for me, one of the first things that came to mind is that Belize is a different place for me because he's not around. He was that important. he represented many things, at many levels. That is just it's a different place. It's a different place, and still it's very hard for me to come back. When he died, he became Belize's first popular hero. We can never replace Andy, but you can continue to work towards getting more artists involved in doing music, like Andy would say, with a higher purpose than just entertainment. Doing music and writing songs.
If you ask me if he's alive, I say hell yeah, he is alive.
And Watina, in a way, is a little bit of that symbol, of that calling out to the rest of the world of what's going on, We're all watching the same TV channels. We're all bombarded with this notion of globalization will cure all problems. Watina, the lyric, I think it's a blues. It's the suffering of a person who can't get a ride, who's by herself on a road and cars are passing and nobody's picking her up. To me, it's such a beautiful song because it combines that ancient spirit, that simplicity, very rooted, simple village way of life. Well, obviously it's Watina. The Watina was the song that marked a whole period for music in Belize.
Here we play with two drums, one bass and one primero. But the people from Honduras, they usually play with three drums. The primero, tercero, and the segunda. Segunda is the larger one, tercero is the medium size, then the primero is the smaller size to give it the rhythm. Garifuna drum is straight down. Djembe is something cheaper like this. You find out of Garifuna drum, I can make several drums.
My instrument, my drum, keeps me whole. It's like these kids make me what I am. It's like it's something like that.